Hi, I'm George. Recently, I've got my first tattoo, and it has turned out to be a disaster. But let's start from the beginning. Since I was 14 years old, I dreamed of having a tattoo. In fact, I loved how people covered in tattoos looked. They were so cool. And also, it was a way to express themselves by having real art on their body. I couldn't wait to finally get my first tattoo. I'd already decided that it should be an image of a wolf, because these animals perfectly reflected my inner self. They are proud, majestic, and loyal animals. The only problem, I had to be 18 or have a permission from my parents. So I decided to ask for it as a gift for my 16th birthday. When I did that, both of them started to ask questions like, why do you need to ruin your body? Are you doing this for a girl? You realize it is for life. I tried to persuade them, but they still said no, adding that once I turn 18, I can do whatever I want. But I couldn't wait, because in my mind, I already had a tattoo of a beautiful wolf. I get it. My parents are from another generation, and it's not the same for them. So, I had to come up with a new plan. First of all, my tattoo had to be on my back so they wouldn't notice it. And also, it should be relatively small. Second, I had to find someone who would be willing to give me a tattoo at home. It also would be cheaper than going to a tattoo parlor. I asked around and eventually found this dude who was an amateur tattoo master. I can't say his real name, but let's call him Bill. We texted each other and he said that he had an entire kit for tattoos and it was perfectly safe because he was always very cautious. Moreover, he said that it would be much cheaper because he was still learning. So, I went to his place, and he was a bit weird. He was saying how good he was, although before he told me that, he was only a beginner, and there was something off about him, like you could say that he wasn't genuine in some ways. Honestly, I had to cancel it then and there, but I was so excited. So instead, I thought, what could go wrong? Well, a lot could go wrong. As far as it was on my back, I couldn't see what he was doing, but from time to time he would say, oops, or something like that. And it's not something you want to hear from your tattoo master. After a few hours, he said we were finished for today and he would continue some other time. I looked into the mirror and it was horrible. The wolf's eyes were too far from each other. The snout was too long and overall it was kinda crooked. I was angry and started arguing with him like, what is that? It doesn't look like it should. He was brushing it off, saying it was alright, he could fix it later and that it wasn't a big deal. He asked when I could come to finish the tattoo, but I said, no thanks, and stormed off. I still had to pay him though. My friends made fun of me for a long time, and I was very cautious at the gym class so that nobody saw it. But people still noticed it and told everyone else, so everyone was laughing at me. It was very awkward to me, and I tried to explain the situation, but they didn't care. Moreover, it was very uncomfortable to take care of it because it was on my back. But most importantly, I had to hide it from my parents because I thought they would be so angry at me. I did my best for several weeks, but eventually my dad walked into a room looking for something, and I was changing shirts, and right at that moment, as he noticed the wolf, he asked me, what is that? And well, the only thing I could do is to come clean to him and Mom. I explained the whole thing to both of them, and they were silent the whole time, trying to look strict. But when I finished, they couldn't contain themselves and started laughing. Honestly, I was relieved, because it was better than them being angry at me. I tried to ask if they could give me money so I could fix it, so at least it would look better. Through laughter, they said, no. Let it be a reminder of what happens when you don't listen to your parents. Eventually, I got used to my crooked wolf and even started to like it. When my friends or my parents made fun of it, I also made fun of myself, so eventually they forgot about it. I wear my first tattoo as a reminder for being more cautious in the future and not doing tattoos at some shady guy's place. I will fix it when I turn 18, but until that, I had to live with it. We all had an embarrassing story in our life, right? Share yours and like this story if you found it amusing.